What's up, my fellow Toku nerds and fellow Scavenger nerds? We got a lot to talk about in this episode of Zeztz, and it feels like we watched 3 episodes in one. We got the whole situation with Baku and Zero. We got Nem's situation. G being a creep, but I love it. Don't ask. I'll get to that later. There's so much setup. There's so much information. We got dropped. I don't even know what to do with all this information. I'm just like, if anyone feels that way, let me know, because I feel like I'm in the only boat here. So let's get right to it. Start off with the episode with Baku visiting. Sorry. We got Baku visiting his dad's grave, which we know is that technically he's kind of like his adopted father, so is that. Still, visits the grave, and finally Baku sees Zero for the first time, with an ominous saying, "You've really grown from Zero." Keep that in mind. This episode really sets stakes. Like, Zero blatantly tells Baku that the agents will come after him since he had the premonition and his closest friends. Which, by the way, onto that particular subject, in the intro they changed that one bit from the cat eyes to Minami. I don't know how to feel about that. Straight up. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that. Back to on track here. So, to prep for this seemingly final fight between Zero and Baku, Baku makes sure that his friends don't fall asleep with these energy drinks, which, he just happens to have energy drinks in his base. Kind of weird, but moving on. And then, after that, goes straight into a dream. Kind of vague. Like, this whole episode feels very cinematic, in a way. Like, it feels like a movie. The way that the camera's been moving, the way that the fight scenes have felt, story drive, it feels like a movie. We get to what I assume to be is Baku's, not Baku's, Zero's lounge, I think? Doesn't really explicit where they are in particular. And then all of a sudden, Nem is just wearing a fuzzy Zeztz costume. I kind of want that. I kind of don't. I feel very mixed about that. And it feels very weird in that sense. But whatever, moving on. It is what it is. And then we got Dark Zeztz, I believe what people was talking about. He has a voice, which we now know is a nightmare at this point. But isn't it weird that it's a hologram Black Zeztz that was used in the Kamen Rider Nox Henshin tutorial? Is that weird? Or is that just me? I don't know. But either way, that's the nightmare. Okay? And then we got this whole fight sequence that's going on. Baku gets them out of there, which Jeeg sabotages, takes them to his place. Still questioning where that is. I'm still going with the vibes of an underground base, but underground fight club, but whatever. And that whole sequence, Jeeg is being, like... You know those situations where you love and hate a villain? Like, they're so bad you love to hate? Yeah, Jeeg is definitely this. For sure. I mean, like, goddamn, the dude was being all creeped out. Like, he was being a creep to them. I'm not saying that in a bad way. Not a fan of creeps. No, I don't. No. Not a fan of that. No. I'm just like the fact that Jeeg is one of those bad guys that you love to hate. That's what I'm trying to get at. Okay? Just to be clear. I'm not going for that archetype, nor am I that archetype. Okay? Good. Moving on. But damn, it is just so creepy as hell. I mean, goddamn. And that whole conversation that was going on, G kind of revealing that all these nightmares are based on people's sins, I think. Which actually does make sense with this transformation. Face your sins. He's got one of those guys that will literally make you face your sins. Which in this case is Nem being a nightmare, basically. He knows that there's more power. And the lady actually referenced that later in this episode too. So there's that. And then back to Baku. We get this flashback of sorts where Baku kind of meets Zero for the first time. And the Zoider bike. Which, yeah, as a kid, yeah. Yeah. Raise your hand if you admit you had one of those motorcycle phases. I did. Still do. Still want a motorcycle. Kawasaki Ninja. Best motorcycle out there. Want that for my riding machine. Moving on. And, yeah, that whole situation with Zero and Baku, there was definitely something going on. I'm going to reveal what happens, but still, it's something. And then during that whole process, or at the end of that, Zero says, now he hopes he can finally have a good dream or something like that. I watched the episode 3 times and I still feel like there's a lot going on I'm trying to bash out here. But moving on. There is this conversation with... we go through a sequence of flipping to what Nem and Nox is going on to Baku. So there's a little flip-floppy thing going on there. Nem is generally scared, and you can feel that tension when she sees her mom, which, okay, for the record, people, for the record, we got Dream World Nem talking to Real World the lady. It's confusing as hell on where they are because Nem is in the dream. Okay? She didn't know how we go. No. She's just in the garden as is. We know that the lady, has never slept in 20 years. So she's still awake. What the heck? I'm still like, my brain can't comprehend on what the heck's going on in that particular area or that particular set. Because you got the dream world and the real world. I'm ranting. I'm sorry. I'm still confused about that. So the lady made it, but still, yeah, I don't know. I really, really don't know what the heck's going on that front. Also, just upright, Nox, Jeek are done at this point. Just, I'm not saying the actors are done. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we don't see them in this episode for the rest of this episode. They just kind of upright disappeared. G is still in the base. Nox is somewhere. I don't know where. Moving on. Back to Baku. Back to Nem and the lady. She's trying to ask her mom, what is she? Because she's made from a nightmare. So what would that imply? Which we still don't know. I don't think. I'm not sure if I missed anything on that front. I was really focused on Baku and Zero. But during all that, we got the fight sequence of Baku and Dark Zeztz, which now has the darkness capsule for some weird reason. Is that just weird? Is that just me or is that weird? Anyway, that whole fight sequence happens. We get Orderum, and then we kind of got the realization that all these random events that Baku happened every time Baku does something good for others, like the bad situations, lightning strike, shark attack, the Mir strike, all of those were black cases caused by Zero. Meaning that Zero's dream was that to complete Zeztz. In process, making Baku a pawn in all of this. Because Zero is Baku's father. He was doing all of this to his own son. That's low blow. That. We don't know the reason why Zero created Zeztz in the first place, but we now know that. And it's still crazy to this day. To right now. So, and by that sense, does that mean the UFO that happened in the Gav movie, the getting hit on the head with a ball when he was protecting the kid, which even then that's still technically a dream. But every bad thing that happened to Baku was because of Zero? That's crazy. Straight up. That is, I'm still shocked. Like, this episode was a whole lot. There was a lot going on. And I have a lot of questions about it. I'm kind of speechless. If you haven't. Well, as of right now, me recording, I'm in 13 minutes and 13 seconds in this episode. And I'm speechless. Even to explain all that, I'm not even sure if I understood all of it. It feels like a final episode. But yeah, we still know more that's coming on. You, quiet. Sorry, I should have shut it off. And even then, we still know we still have a final form coming up. So there's more episodes to come. There's a lot that's going down. I'm like both scared and excited at the same time on what's to come. I fear for one thing at this point about the final form, but I'm not going to say it because, again, I don't want it to be true. But if that happens, something crazy is going to go down. That's for sure. Let me know what you guys' theories about the future of Zeztz right now. What do you think about this episode? Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And then, if we're able to get to 100 subscribers, I will do a live Q&A around that time when we get 100 subscribers. Just want to let you guys know. But as far as my thoughts go, this was Zeztz is incredible. It it's honestly my favorite Kamen Rider of all time right now. And I can't wait to get more of the roleplay items. Because I've been saving the items for Power Morphicon, which I will be there August 28th and 30th. I will be there, so keep an eye out for that. And then we'll just have to see what comes about in the next episode of Zeztz. So, without further ado, make sure you guys check out EastCon's comments when he drops them. No rush, EastCon. No rush at all. Take your time. Make sure it's nice, clean, and easy to understand. And then, if you guys let me know what you think about this episode, that would be great. Otherwise, you guys take care. See you later.